Hello, my name is Jason. I'm a finance manager at a auto dealership, and today we're going to be going over objection handling. Very common objection that you get. We hear it all the time. I need to think about it. And let's look at it from a customer's perspective. What does that mean? In reality, it's a smoke screen. They're either embarrassed to tell the truth, or they're lacking information, they don't like you. Myriad of real objections. So this one is just a smokescreen, just because there is a social construct that they can't just leave the dealership without saying something. So a lot of times this is a customer's fallback. I need to think about it. And it still stumps even veteran salesmen, which I think is unacceptable. So we'll go over how to overcome this objection. So there's two parts. So one part is how to handle this objection on the lot, so on the car lot. So on the lot. And then the other part would be how to solve this objection in the box when you're negotiating with your customer. So on the lot versus in the box. All right. So when a customer says, I need to think about it, a lot of times you need to slow down the pace. So the way you slow down the pace is by lowering your voice, that low FM DJ voice. You're going to bring it down and slow the customer down. So you need to get back their attention. On the lot, there can be a couple reasons on why they're telling you this. So number one, they don't like the car. They don't like the car. And that could be a myriad of reasons. They don't like the color, they don't like the miles, they don't like the tires. Could be anything. They don't like how it smelled, whatever. So that could be one reason they're saying that. It could also be they don't like you. And when I say like, I mean trust. So they don't like or trust you. And in that case, you really have to reflect upon yourself and see what you did to lose their trust or what you failed to do to gain it. And sometimes you have to put your ego aside instead of being right or anything like that. You might even want to turn a deal if you feel a customer doesn't like you, because you could smell it. Usually you could smell it if they don't like you. So you could turn the deal, have a manager talk to them, have an experienced salesman take over the deal. A half is better than no deal. So don't let your ego get to you. Obviously, you want to control the words that you use and the tonalities in which you say them, because you're not going to talk to an elderly woman by herself the same way you're going to talk to ex-military guy, right? So that's obvious. So they don't like you. They don't trust you. So it's hard to build it back once you've lost it, but there's things that you can do to try to help. And then the last one is they don't like your dealership. This one's not super common, but it is important. Especially, let's say they don't like your service department, or they see some bad reviews online, things like that, or they had a bad experience in the past. So you have to do all three of these. At least you have to sell all three of these things. So they don't like your car. So what can we do? So our goal is to, number one, identify the true objection. Once you identify the true objection, it almost becomes automatic on how to solve any other objection, because you know how to solve those objections already. But if you don't even know what the objection is, then you're chasing shadows. You're chasing things in the blind. You're blind, right? So identify the true objection. How do you do that? How do you identify the true objection? Well, number one, you ask questions. So the types of questions that you will ask will be based on what your customer says or what you think is going or was going on, what's happening. So if they don't like the car, sometimes you can tell, right? Does this car meet all the requirements? Those are questions. Oh, is it the color? Is it the miles? What is it about the car? So ask questions about the car and just show them a different car. Sometimes just start walking them toward other cars and they'll pick it out for you. What does the car need to have? That you should know your inventory. You should know how to land them on the right car. And if that's not working, don't just assume they're coming in for one specific car. Sometimes somebody can come in for a Civic and leave with a Toyota Highlander 8-seater. So don't really try to pre-qualify too much or assume what kind of car the customer wants. You're going to guide them and tell them what they need, but ultimately they make the final decision. If they don't like you and they don't trust you, there's certain things you can do. Like one thing I used to say to all my customers is, oh, guys, I'll treat you like my uncle. I'll treat you like my aunt. You're my godparents. And when you really say stuff like that, it's kind of funny. People laugh and they do believe you a little bit more. So and we don't really have to lie to customers. Just speak the truth and believe in what you say, and people can tell right away that you're genuine versus you're being disingenuous. So if they don't like the dealership, you can say things throughout your sales process, especially during test drives or before that, kind of planting the seed, saying like, oh, before I chose this dealership to work at, I selected a few and I chose this one because our finance team is extremely good and they're great at getting people approved. And also our service department is really fast. You know, we sell 10, 20 cars a day. Just kind of say things, little nudges, just to kind of build that reputation for your dealership. That way you don't get any type of, or if they do have any issues, try to address them right away. Oh, you know what? Guys, even if I'm not working here, I'll put something on paper that says we'll take care of you forever. We're not in the short-term business. We're looking at this as long-term, especially you guys are local. Things like that, right? So identifying the true objection. A lot of times, asking those questions, people will tell you what their objection is because they want to buy a car. It's your job as a salesman to overcome that. You're doing your customer a disservice when you do not overcome these objections, because they're going to go somewhere else. Most likely, they're not going to give them the equal service that you're going to give them. You're going to give them the highest level of customer service. And if you let them leave, that's allowing that to take place. So that's why salesmen were invented, partially. So asking good questions. So a couple other things that can happen is any one of these objections can happen when you're in the box as well, when you're negotiating with your customer. A couple other things that can come up is they could be, scared of the payment. So maybe your desk manager hit you with a really high pencil. Customer got kind of scared. Now they're embarrassed to say, oh, the payment's too high. You know, because that is a real thing. People can be embarrassed for whatever kind of reason. And so payment being too high. That can be the real objection. And then once you're able to identify that and just say, oh, guys, is it the payment? That's an easy question. Is it the payment? Yeah, it's the payment. We're trying to be around 400. And then they'll tell you what they want. So you have to say things like that as well. They might not have the down payment. So down payment, let's say you asked them right after you did the credit application how much down payment. They said 3,000, 10,000, whatever number. And then you go to find out that they don't have the money yet because it's going to come to them in a check from an insurance claim. Now, once you identify that, that's an easy objection to overcome. But you have to identify that first. So that's why it's important to ask questions like, is it the down payment that's holding us back? Is it that the payment's too high? Be truthful with me, guys. What can we do to help you? I'm here to help you. I want to serve you. Remember, you're my godparents, ha ha ha, and they'll laugh. Secondary to that would be labeling your customers. So what does that mean? A label, for example, it seems like, it sounds like, it looks like. So a lot of times people's urge to correct you is irresistible. What that means is sometimes you can label somebody and they will instead correct you and spit out just exactly what they were thinking or just exactly what their actual objection is. So apply labels such as, it seems like there's something bothering you about this deal. It seems like you're uncomfortable about this part of the deal. Or it sounds like this is holding you back. And things like that, a lot of times they'll correct you right away. They will correct you. So asking good questions, applying those labels, and if that doesn't work, tertiary, what you can do is try throwing stuff at the wall. This is, desperate measures. A lot of times I'll say things like, especially I look young, so it's a little bit funny. Guys, be truthful with me a little bit. My kids lie to me. My wife lies to me. My boss lies to me. Can you guys just give me a little 5%? Can you just give me a little bit of truth? And a lot of times when you say stuff like that, people can feel you're being genuine. And with everything that you're saying, say it with passion and be meaningful. People can tell the difference. You can tell the difference when somebody's trying to sell you versus if they're trying to help you. So try those 3 things. If that doesn't work, definitely turn this deal because there is money there. So always maximize every single deal. Have them talk to a manager. Have them talk to an experienced salesman. So in summary, there's 2 different approaches. Your goal is identify the true objection. So you ask a lot of questions, apply the labels if that doesn't work, and then try throwing stuff at the wall. Try to throw people out of whack a little bit. Sometimes they'll tell the truth. If you have any questions, comments, or you think there's a better way to do this, you can disagree with me. You can agree. You want to add something, please do so in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe. Hopefully I'm going to make more videos like this on how to overcome objections and just general car sales. Again, my name is Jason. I'm a finance manager at a dealership. Good luck.